Valley Club, beware, you may not want to be auto-launching his spotlight raids this week. We get a free gift and some Sentinel shards. Everyone gets a unlock. What is coming up next, and what are the best war teams? We're gonna answer this question and the rest of your mailbag questions as we do the last mailbag Monday for 2024. If you're ready for all that and more, then Valley Club, you know what to do. Find that like button and let's go smash it. And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I'm ValleyFlyin. I hope you're having a great holiday week, and I hope you had a great weekend. This video, we're going to talk about the event going on right now, what you need to do to max the event. Also, the spotlight raids, you may not be wanting to auto launch it, especially towards the end of this week. And it's Monday, so we're going to get into your mailbag to answer your mailbag questions. And if you get some value from this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell for even more Marvel Strike Force content on a normal non-holiday week. At least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos with all sorts of content to help you out in the game. Well, let's start talking about this spotlight raid 2. Now, it is coming later this week. January 3rd is when it is launching, so you may want to go in and adjust this auto launch schedule so that as soon as it launches, and the time in the blog post, January 3rd, 1 p.m. Pacific. So if your raid is going to launch before this, you may want to go into the game and adjust this auto launch schedule for your purple raids so that you could launch Spotlight Raid 2, the prologue of it, instead of Spotlight Raid 1 as it launches. Now, for the prologue, it's not going to be the normal Spotlight Raids because we don't have all the members in the game yet. You're going to have 4 of the Uncanny Avengers in the game, and then later Hercules is going to be added. And as far as the rewards, which you get, well, you get some ability materials, Crimson Gear, some gold, Path to Jean Grey orb fragments, which is good. Now, a lot of times you're not going to get the character that they want in these Path to orbs, but there is a slight chance that you get 100 Jean Grey shards. So yeah, don't auto launch the Spotlight Raid 1 because you may want to get some of these fragments and may get lucky with Jean Grey orbs. Also, Hercules Diamond orb fragments, which I guess is kind of the launch of the diamonds for Hercules, which means that when you get the red stars, that red star store for Hercules, probably won't get diamonds right away just to keep it a little more exclusive, and then later they'll have the diamonds added to that store. But Battle World credits is coming in this raid later this week. Unfortunately, it's not going to be for every Spotlight Raid prologue. It is going to be only for these first time rewards. So hopefully there's not too much of a gap between when Battle World comes back and this launching of this prologue of Spotlight Raid 2. And Groot's second big gift has just arrived, and this is some shards for Sentinel. Yes, 310 Sentinel shards, some Groot's Grand Finale orb fragments for that big gift that should be arriving sometime next week. But yeah, this is a good thing. It could have been better because Sentinel is going to be farmable very easily. And although Sentinel shards are free stuff, I never want to complain about free stuff when the devs are trying to do something nice. We do know from this blog all the way back in late November that Sentinel, Nimrod, Omega Sentinel, all going to be farmable sometime in January. And Sentinel is going to be the easiest place to farm. This Spotlight Raid orb, most people, if you've been playing this Spotlight Raids for a while, have a bunch of them saved up. So as soon as a new character goes there, you have them maxed out already. Sentinel would have been that character. Nimrod would have been a lot more nice to have those free shards. So would Omega Sentinel. But like I said, it's free stuff. If you don't have them unlocked already, that is awesome. And you could get that unlock. If you don't have 7 stars, hopefully that gets you 7 stars. And if you're someone that buys the battle passes as the passes, well, he was just launched in an Orcus orb, which does contain Omega Sentinel, does contain Nimrod, but it also contains shards for Sentinel. So if you don't have them fully already at 7 stars from those extra shards, that you got from the campaigns, well, this is a good thing. It gets you more shards, but if you already have them unlocked at 7 stars or we're thinking of getting the battle pass, it's just some extra free ultimate shards. And if you watched the video that we put out last week, we knew it was going to be Endgame Thanos. We knew it was Sentinel. Man Thing was the next prediction, but let me know what your predictions are for that next big gift. I do have some clues in this video, and the link is going to be down below. As we move forward with the current event going on right now, the And a Zombie at a Party event, if we look at the rewards, they have some snow globes here, some gold training mats, purple crystals, purple ions as well, some blue stuff as well for your ISO 8. And then where you need to get to is this partridge. That is at milestone 14. 101,000 points is where you need to get to for this partridge. And of course, if you want to push even further, top 1,000 will get at least 1 diamond for Medusa. Top 10,000 will get some purple stuff. The scoring for this does involve using the absolute A-Force in War. For Kahori, Miss Marvel Classic, and Medusa, at least at 5 stars. So if you haven't bought one of these characters or gotten lucky with one of their path to orbs, you don't have these characters at that 5-star level. But if we scroll down here, just using your absolute A-Force in war, which includes Wasp, which includes Ironheart, should get you all of these points here. So you should get to this limit of 25,000, and the rest of it will be from your web milestone points. There are 10,000 points on the web if you spend all your snow globes. This earning one New Year 2025 orb fragments, that is from the ISO 8 campaigns. We know now that is a ratio of 4-to-1. Every ISO 8 you spend, you're getting 4 of these orb fragments. You're also getting points for spending Winterland energy. You're getting 288 free per day, and 101,000 points is a target. That will get you the partridge. That will get you all the points that you need for the month-long milestone event. And if you do all the web milestones, that is 10,000 points. And if you use your absolute A-Force in war, that's another 25,000 points. Now, the variants will come from the Winterland energy you spend and the ISO 8 energy you spend for that best of 2025 orb. So the Winterland energy, you're getting 288 free per day over the course of 7 days. And multiply by 10 points, that is about 20,000 points, a little over that. Now, if you do your 4 refreshes, that's gonna be 100 of that Winterland energy for every 50 cores you spend. So if you spend 200 cores per day, that's gonna be 400 extra energy. Over the course of 7 days, 10 points each, that's about 28,000 points that you're getting from doing those refreshes. But that is 200 cores every single day. That is about 1,400 cores over the course of this event, if you wanna spend that. Now, it's going to be very difficult to get to this partridge without doing your 4 refreshes on this Winterland energy. You can get it with free ISO 8 energy spend. So you're getting 650 ISO 8 energy free per day, and you're getting the 2025 New Year orbs at a 4-to-1 ratio by spending that ISO 8 energy. So 650 energy over the course of 7 days, 4 points per orb fragment that you get. That is a little over 18,000 points. That alone should be enough to get you that partridge. But if you want to spend even more and start to climb a little bit towards those leaderboard rankings, if you do want to do those refreshes of the ISO 8 energy, that is going to cost you 150 cores per day, because you do get 1 free. You do get 4 at that 50 core refresh, but you're getting 1 free. 150 cores per day, that is 480 energy, because instead of every 50 cores getting you 100 like the Winter Wonderland energy, you're getting 120. So 480 energy. So 480 ISO 8 energy over the course of 7 days, 4 points per. That's 13,000. And if we add all that up, that is 114,000. All you need is 101,000. And of course, if you look at the store every day, this may change, this may be the same, but at least the first day, we're getting 1,000 points, milestone points for that zombie party. So if that goes over the course of 7 days, that's 7,000 additional points. And that should get you to milestone 14 and get you that partridge here to complete all the milestones for the month-long milestone event. As we move forward to the mailbag questions of the week, and only 2 of them at that short holiday week. But first question of the week, happy holidays, ValleyFlyin. Hope you have a good one. I hope you're having a good one as well, Valley Club. I have to ask because I always forget about them. Stark Tech, nobody talks about it. Is it even worth talking about, or do they have an impact in the game at all? Well, I don't know if it's worth talking about it, but it does have a big impact in a game. So this was a pretty big thing when it was first introduced, and a lot of the alliances were racing towards upping this damage. Now, this bonus, 25% more health, 25% more damage, 25% more armor, 25% more focus and resistance. That is not a small stat. That's a pretty big stat increase. The big thing about this is that once you have it maxed, you're not really upping this. And then you have your stats for your tech characters, bio characters, mystic characters, skill characters, and mutant characters. You do want to max this, but like I said, once you max this as an alliance, there's not really too much use for all this Stark Tech here. You're getting some of that every single day, but I think the big thing with these alliance gifts right now is the snow globes. Previous to that, it was the candies for the candy store, and hopefully it continues, because I do like these stores that we have, giving a selection of things that we could buy in the store. Hello, ValleyFlyin. With so many teams now, what is the meta? 14 war attack teams now. Now, there's going to be some variance depending on what your alliance is doing. If your alliance is really hardcore into war, if your alliance is really casual. My alliance is really casual. I'll show you what I'm doing, but I'm not sure if it's the actual best war teams out there, because the requirements in my alliance, just do your 10 attacks and that's done. So I don't even know if I have 14 teams that I use on a standard basis. And as we go into the game, before we get to my save squads, I do want to talk about these Jarvis recommended squads. You could always check out where the most recent war teams are, if they're supposed to be for war. Sometimes we get some raid teams that are also good in war, or Crucible teams that are also good in war. But if they're just made for war, you're gonna see the most recent teams here. One of the most recent teams that is not even in the game yet is this Mighty Avengers. Hercules, probably gonna release mid-January or something like that, and that is when this team is gonna be good. Now, this should be a top 14 team. I'm not sure if this is gonna be like a top 5 team though. One new character, 4 reworks. We have had that in the past, and most recently, that was with the Infestation team. So this is a good team. They're still kind of in the meta right now, but it wasn't a hugely overly impressive team. Defensively, it was very strong, but you weren't using this team on offense. Other team that we've had this for was the Underworld, and they were a very, very good team. I don't know if they were top 5 on launch, but we had Mr. Negative come to the game, and then we had the reworks for the rest of these characters. So I'm expecting something similar for the Mighty Avengers. So like I said, probably a top 10, definitely a top 14, but I don't know if this is gonna be a top 5 war team. But let's go to my save squads, and I'll talk about what I have. So I don't have Medusa unlocked, so we have a 4-piece of Absolute A-Force right now. Still a very strong team. The Astral team is more for Battle World, but with their Awaken abilities, they also are good in war as well. They're a good war team. They can counter a few different things. The Mercs for Money is probably my favorite war team. They're not the best war team. They can't counter everything, but they're my favorite to use. Normally with this team, I'm going against a Alpha Flight or Alpha Flight with Skrull or something like that, just throwing out an auto. Weapon X is the older team, but because of the reworks to Lady Deathstrike and X-23 getting that tag, that Weapon X tag, and then the reworks to Wolverine, this team kind of had a resurgence, and they are able to take out a Night Stalkers on defense. They're able to take out Extreme X-Men on defense. A few other things as far as the cleanup, but Weapon X is probably one of your top 14 war offense teams right now. The Illuminati is a good war team. They're more for a Cosmic Crucible, but the Illuminati, they can beat some of the teams like Alpha Flight. They can beat a team like Extreme X-Men. So they're a very, very good war team. The Out of Time team is a good war team as well. Black Knight is very, very strong, but even the 4-piece without Black Knight can take out a team like the Alpha Flight. If it's not a hybrid team like with Super Skrull and Alpha Flight, just straight up Alpha Flight, the 4-piece Out of Time can take that out, and then you can use Black Knight somewhere else. The New Avengers, they probably are not in the top 8, but are probably in that top 14. Normally what I use this team for is a New Avengers counter, and if I see a New Avengers that's smaller than mine, I'm just throwing it in there and autoing it. But you can use the New Avengers to beat a team like Gamma if you see them on defense. They're still probably in the top 14, but yeah, they're probably not top 8, like I said. This interesting Superior 6 team is what I use to counter to the Infestation. I use the Vulture opening on someone that's not adjacent to Big Time Spider-Man, then ability block Big Time Spider-Man, then I use the ultimate for Slayer, and then Big Time is dead, and it's pretty easy counter. Now, a lot of times I'm pairing this, Apocalypse is in this spot, and we encounter a few different teams, a few different Skrull teams, but if we're just doing Sinister 6, looking at a team like Illuminati, a team like Out of Time for this counter. Now, if I'm not using this team, you could use a character like Kraven, Vulture in this team, and makes it a lot more effective. But with this Rhino, if I'm not using Apocalypse in this spot, it can't take as big war teams out. Secret Defenders is a pretty good team. I don't have Doctor Strange on this team because I have him with the Astral team, but this team still can take out a Spider Society. This is the Sinister 6 version that I end up using a little bit more normally to counter a team with Super Skrull, something like that. The Undying team, they are a good team and can take out a team like the Annihilators or something like that. The Gamma team, I still use them. They're a very old team, but when I see like a Spider Society or an Orcus, Gamma works very well. Nowhere is an older team, and I wouldn't recommend building them up. If you have them built up from the past when they were meta, they could take out a team like the New Avengers. And Death Seed, they're not that great, but I still see a lot of Death Seeds on defense, and Death Seed is a great counter to Death Seed. And then this Eternal counter right here with Icarus and Cersei and some of the Bifrost members. They can take out a few different teams. Normally, I'm looking for a Bifrost of my own that I could counter. Pegasus, they could counter this as well. And that is the teams that I normally use. There's some other teams that once in a while I will use them, like this Gamma Apocalypse combo. The full Infinity Watch, now that Moondragon got that rework, is a lot stronger. But yeah, those are the teams that I'm using. It's a little bit more than 14. So you can mix and match based on what your alliance wants to do and what you're seeing on war defense from your opponents. And I hope that helps you with your war. Like I said, this may not be the best, but that is what I'm using for my alliance. But again, my alliance, the requirements in war just through your 10 attacks, and then that's pretty much it. So hopefully this does help you with your war attacks, and hopefully this event calculations do help you with what you want to do for this event. Do you want to spend cores, or do you want to skip some of these rewards? It is up to you. Hopefully you got some value from this video, and if you did, leave it a like. And if you want to see what you do to future-proof your roster for 2025, check out the video up there, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great rest of your year. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin out.